I'm Pete Lewis, Mayor of Auburn. Welcome to another edition of Discover Auburn. Here today with me is Kevin Anderson, who's the CEO of Wesley Homes. That's a pretty big title.
It is.
How long have you been with Wesley Homes now?
I've been with Wesley Homes since 1999. And
Wow.
I came as the executive director, and then as we grew, my title changed to president and CEO. So
Now, when did Wesley Homes actually begin?
Wesley Homes began in 1944 when Dr. Stanley Logan, who is a Methodist pastor, was at his church in Tacoma, and a number of his parishioners walked out and said, you know, Dr. Logan, we don't have a retirement home for us Methodists, and we really need something. So Dr. Logan went to the conference, the governing body of the church, and said, I have this great idea to build a retirement community for Methodists. And the church said, that's a great idea, Stanley, go forth, and our blessings to you. And by the way, we don't have any money to give you. So not much has changed.
That sounds familiar.
Yes, it does. Yeah, nothing has just changed. But of course, Wesley Homes serves people of all religious faiths and also employs people of all religious faiths and respects that as well as we've gone through the years.
Wow. So how did the decision come about to open a facility here in Auburn?
You know, we were looking for a community to go to expand because we knew of the growing number of seniors that were coming and the baby boomers, and everybody knows those statistics and the graying of America. And we had a lot of people from any other community, more so from Auburn, come to us and say, you know, we dearly love Wesley Homes, but we love Auburn better. And so we don't want to leave Auburn. Can't you build something in Auburn? And so with that kind of response from the folks, we really started to look in Auburn, and of course the property that we had was owned by the Eby family, and they're United Methodists. And in the city, your predecessor and you, Pete, were absolutely wonderful to work with, made it easy for our organization to take that first step and to build a community outside of what was originally there in Des Moines. So we thank you for all your help in that. But that's how we got to Auburn, was the people of Auburn wanted us to come. The city wanted us to come, and we were happy to come. It was a great partnership for us.
Yes, and it's been a pleasure working with you. If I hadn't, I think my Mayor Booth, would still be standing on my desk, along with a great deal of others, because they were really serious about wanting to have you here.
Yes.
In our city. And it was an interesting comment. There was many that wanted to be associated with Wesley Homes, but they didn't want to leave Auburn. And they were very serious about that they wanted that tie to community that's so important to them. And I think that your facility has done a very good job at providing those ties to the community, so they still have their friends. They still have those key connections that they hold so dearly.
Yep. And we have found that, you know, as we look across the country even, that communities like Auburn that have been around for 100 years or more, people have that real sense of that's their home, that's where they've raised their kids, that's where they have their doctors, that's where they want to stay, and their friends are there. And so we're finding that you have to go to communities such as Auburn to develop and build communities for retirees. And it was a perfect fit.
Couldn't see any other way I'd ever get in place except in Auburn.
Yep.
So now you're talking about a new adventure I've heard about, which is skilled nursing beds in Auburn. So how did that come about?
Well, Wesley wants to build full continuums of care. So we go from very independent to very skilled, and we also do home care out in the community as well and on our campus as well. One of the things to complete Wesley Homes Lee Hill is to have skilled nursing beds there. And so we want to build a skilled nursing home, 34 beds in total, all private rooms with private showers and baths. There'll be about 250 square feet in them, so they'll be like a suite. So if our resident is not, your loved one is not feeling well, that the family members can stay there. They have the privacy, the dignity of the individuality of that individual, and so it's really a nice thing to do. Not all those beds will be for our residents. We in fact only need maybe 5 for the residents of Lee Hill. So the remaining of them will be for members of the community at large.
That's great.
So we hope to serve a great number of folks there.
So when you talk about you're wanting to add skilled nursing home beds, what does the end part of wanting to add?
Well, what wanting to add is we're into a capital campaign to help us do that, because the state will only pay for double occupancy rooms. And nobody really wants that. In fact, we find married couples who don't want to share the same room at times. And so in order to build all private rooms, which is the wave of the future, which is the right way to do, we have to raise funds and ask for philanthropic support from the community to do that. And so we're in the process of doing that. And once we hit a target, then we'll be able to put a shovel in the ground after we've gone through the city processes and everything, and then build that final stage, if you will, with our community up there.
So if people wanted to be involved or make a gift, make a contribution, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they could call our administrator at Lee Hill, Scott Hewlett, or they can contact myself at our Des Moines campus. Sue Singer, who's very familiar to the city of Auburn and such, is helping us greatly with that. They could also contact Sue.
Probably giving out her home phone number wouldn't be a good idea.
No, I don't think we'll do that, but they probably have it anyway. But
They probably do.
Yeah, but we'll let Sue worry about that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So there are different nursing facilities and retirement homes, and they have all sorts of different names. What's different about Wesley Homes?
Well, Wesley Homes, there's very few faith-based, not-for-profit, long-term care providers in the state of Washington and even in Puget Sound. In fact, there's only in the state of Washington probably 20% of the providers are not-for-profit, and most are faith-based, whether they're Presbyterian or Lutheran or Methodist or Episcopalian, whichever. But what makes Wesley Homes different is that not-for-profit faith-based. We're really there to provide a service to the residents. Of course, we need to make a bottom line, but that's not the most important thing for us. The most important thing for us is quality care services to those people whom we serve.
And is there a website where folks can actually see what your place looks like?
Yes. If they go to www.wesleyhomes.org, and we just redid our whole website. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it's very user-friendly, and they should be able to get most of their questions answered there, and also contacts for all of us.
It is a beautiful facility. I like I think they call them the brownstone apartments.
Yes.
I tried to convince my wife to move in, but she doesn't want to do it quite yet.
Yes.
But they are beautiful places, and the main building is beautiful, and the folks that work there are so caring. I think that Wesley Homes has a great future in our city, and they're going to be part of the foundation of our community for some time to come.
Yep.
Now, if I can just get you to put something in the downtown.
Yeah.
But that's a different story. We'll
Someday
talk about
maybe
that
we could
again.
do that. That's right, Pete. And I would like to add too is that Wesley really serves a middle income market. So we looked at if a single school teacher can move into Wesley Homes, we've hit that market. And in fact, more than 50% of our population at Wesley Homes, both in Des Moines and in Lee Hill, are under the King County median income.
Wow.
So we try to serve all people and do it in a
And you've done
way.
a good job. You really have. We really appreciate you being a part of the Auburn community.
Well,
I think it's
thank
been
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you, Pete. It's been a pleasure to work with you and the rest of the city staff. We couldn't have asked for a better partner as we go through this.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
You're certainly welcome. Well, thank you for joining us with another edition of Discover Auburn. If you have anything that you'd like to hear about or somebody you'd like to meet, please do give us a call. Have a good day.